it's Fly. Welcome back to another video of mine. I'm very excited for this video because we are starting a new series. This series is called Minecraft Dream Designs, where we will be building in a newly generated world, and I'm in creative, and we are going to be building whatever we want. Like literally our dreams being designed, and I want you to be included in this too. I need some suggestions on the builds we are going to create in this series. This series is mainly going to be dependent on you guys suggesting some builds, and if you guys don't want to suggest, that's fine. I've got plenty of ideas for the both of us, but this series purpose is for us to learn how to build. Okay, I've fallen. Oh, okay, not that much actually. So this series, we will be building and learning to build. Our sole purpose is to learn how to build. To be honest, I've been playing Minecraft for like 10 years and I still haven't learned to build that much. So this series is gonna be helping both of us to learn to build. This series is gonna be fun. We're just gonna be chilling, building. You can build with me in your own creative world. You can just, watch me build. That's okay. We just whatever you want. We're just gonna be building. And for those of you who want to join me, we're in 1.20.2. This is a fabric profile. So I have some mods here. I wanted Optifine, but I also wanted replay mod, and those two don't really go together in this late of a version. So I had to coincide with some alternate mods here. Most of these mods I'm not going to be using all of the time. But anyway, let's begin. This episode, I had the idea of building a mystical river. The river is going to be mainly built around the idea of that fog effect. So if I can find some glass, here's some glass. This fog effect that is used to create like a very neat fog. See, like, that's so pretty, especially with the purple. We're gonna be creating a river, and that river is gonna be like a crack in the ground here. Here is a basic outline of how long I want this river to be. I think I want it to like be a little swirly, so I think I'm gonna create a little patch in here, and then in the middle I want it to go this way, so I'm gonna turn it just a bit and make it go out in this direction. And then yeah, it's looking good so far. And then I want it to turn again in this direction. That looks good so far. Now I'm just gonna do a little bit more carving here to make it a little bit more even. And then cut off this corner here because I want more of a curve to it, and these corners are kind of being a little flat. So definitely define this curve, go around, create a little bit more circulature, even though that's pretty impossible to do in Minecraft, but that's okay. I think we can have like a little pond over here. So I'm going to outline a quick little circle. So I hope you guys learned some stuff from this series, as well as me. I hope I learned some stuff too. I'm just gonna be, teaching on my own. I might watch a couple YouTube videos here and there and get some ideas on building techniques, but this is mainly self-taught skills that I want to use to incorporate in some builds of mine and like survival worlds. And you guys can definitely join with me finding your creative potential in creative as well. I would love to hear all your suggestions and your beautiful ideas. I'm gonna turn the game rule for the daylight cycle on because I don't want to change it back to daytime, and I don't want to spam a bunch of torches for nighttime. It would be a little annoying. So this is how you turn the daylight cycle off. If you're in a creative world, turn on your cheats to allow cheats when you create a creative world, and then you do game rule, do daylight cycle false, and it won't change to night anymore. And then to change it to day permanently, you just go into the chat again and do / time set day, and now it will be day forever. All right, so it looks like we've got a pretty windy river right here. Let me taper off this end here. How is there lapis right here? What? That's crazy. I've never found lapis this high up in the world before. Okay, so I think we've got a basic outline figured out here. There's going to be a little pond right here, and it's going to spiral all the way down to here, and it'll end around here. So now I'm going to dig about 4 to 5 blocks down and start to place some lava for a light source. That's where all the glowing kind of fog effect is going to come from this river. Okay, we got this thing all carved out basically. Now it's time to put in the lava. The lava is the first step you want to do if you're making one of these foggy river kind of things. If I can find lava, I haven't really explored the creative menu too much. Don't worry, by the end of this series, I should have this creative menu in the back of my hands. There's some lava. Now we just sparsely set this lava around. Make sure it covers all the spots that we need to have light sources on. Lava is the easiest to spread all of the light sources around on the bottom, but if you're doing this in a survival world, you could probably just do this with glowstone or, you know, whatever gives off a light source. Sea lanterns might look a bit cool, but I'm using lava because I'm in creative and I won't be dying from it. And only set it on the first level. You don't want it on like that because you'll be putting the glass on these levels, so you don't want any lava on any other level but the first level on the ground. And now choose any of the colors of glass that you'd want. I'm doing purple and pink, and all you have to do is alternate them. I think I'm gonna do purple first, pink next, purple third, pink fourth, and then purple on top because I want purple on top. And if you see, it creates a very nice fog effects, and you can have it just air gaps. Air gaps make it even more like transparent, but it ends up still looking like fog anyways. It might be needing to put the lava layer way further down, or else you're gonna see that lava very easily through the glass. But I'm gonna use 5 layers of glass here, so then you can't really see the lava that much. So yeah, let's get this glass filled up, and I definitely recommend using Optifine or some sort of connecting glass texture pack, or else this is gonna look very weird without any sort of connecting glass texture pack, because it's gonna look all gritty. Glass normally has a grid-like texture to it in vanilla Minecraft, and most people use Optifine to get rid of that texture because it defeats the purpose of this fog effect. Trust me, you're gonna want to use Optifine for this. Alright, pink layer is done. It's starting to get that fog effect. That looks so cool. Oh my gosh. It almost looks hot pink. Actually, it is. It's gotta be hot pink. If you want a hot pink river, just do lava, dark purple, and pink. Oh my gosh, this looks sick. Let's continue on to the next layer, which is purple. If you want this to look like a slime pit, use lime glass. If you want this to look like a space void, use black or dark blue glass. If you want this to just look like a fog in a ravine, definitely use dark gray or white glass. You can use this technique with any color and it's gonna look cool either way. I've come up with an idea that might look even better. So if you use end rods, which I gotta find again, I have a texture pack that removes the purple end of the end rods, but it does still look good if you use purple and you have the purple ends. But the end rods start to become sort of like stars in space, and it looks super cool if you randomize those end rods, or candles, or honestly torches might even work. Anything in the pockets of air like that can make it look super pretty, which I'm thinking I might do it in the next layer, which I might just say forget it to the pink glass layer, and I might just kind of randomize these end rods around here. Okay, that looks so good. We got our river. This looks so nice. And I love the little sparkles we get from the little, how did I miss this? It looks like a little snake. That's like the little head and this is the little tail. I was thinking of a little waterfall that would fall. There would be a tree here, and there would be like a tiny little waterfall falling into this river right here. That would be super cute. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like create just a nice little waterfall, but that requires me digging again and making a big hole with more lava. Okay, so I dug out a hole here, big enough so I can just put layers of lava right here. Now once I put this lava in, we're gonna go in layers and put the glass, and it's gonna form a waterfall like slope here. Now that all the lava is placed, we're gonna place the first section of glass here. All right, now we got a little slope of the waterfall going down, and it's coming up here to another little pond up here, and then it's gonna go down to that pond, and it's just gonna trail off to over here. This is looking great. So I think I'm going to root all of this magic energy through a amethyst tree right here. It's going to be rooting out from this pond here and rooting up to an amethyst tree. It's going to look so cool. So how I want to start this is possibly going down into the lake here and making the roots of the tree grow out of the lake. And I want the roots of the tree to be white. So I think I'm going to use some white blocks like diorite and quartz for sure, and just dig out a little area here. And now we're gonna create like a little platform out of white blocks, and I will texturize this. So put some stairs and stuff, maybe put some roots around. What I like to do during builds is create a block palette. I forgot to do this at the beginning of the build because I was so excited. Smooth quartz, quartz pillar, a lot of quartz blocks, quartz bricks, white wool, concrete powder, blocks of quartz, stained glass of white, and magenta too. There is the mushroom stem. which is a nice gray block or subdual. It's pretty gray. That would look really nice if I texturize it correctly. We could make a subdual gradient from the diorite up to this block, which is the stem, and I think we could use other blocks like it. Or we don't have to use the stem at all, we could just use the quartz. So if we could just transition from the roots, which start with the diorite, up to the quartz, I think that would look nice. So I think I'm gonna change these blocks here. I'm just gonna delete my progress here. And I'm gonna start over down here with diorite and just extend some random blocks out to create that nice radiant and stem-like texture. And now I'm just gonna build up. And then next I'm going to use like little speckles of the white concrete powder to give it that nice transition of the gray-like diorite to the white. All right, now we got our little like top point, well, bottom point of the tree. Now I'm gonna transition into wool, which I'm then gonna transition into the quartz block. And I'm also gonna layer some quartz stairs and smooth quartz around too for that transition. And then I'm going to move into the quartz pillars because I find that to be the most log type of the white blocks. And then use some upside down stairs to have like hanging bits like that. So I made a basic shape. It's kind of spiraling up into the air. I don't know if I want it this tall though. That tall is about good. I do need to kind of structure this a bit better though, because it's a bit weird. I'm just using some stairs and like and slabs and turning them all around to smooth out this shape a little bit better. And then on the vertical bits, I use the pillars. This shape is very hard. I'm struggling a little bit. I never really made a tree before, but this is what this series is for me learning how to do these things. I don't like how thick this side is, so... I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna trim this part right here, just kind of start over from the top. Because I like this trunk, I like how the trunk is kind of formed. I just need to try and make it thinner to the top. And since it's gonna be a little taller, I'm gonna move that gradient up. So I'm going to get the white concrete again. Concrete powder, and then I'm just gonna throw around this concrete, and then I'm going to move the wool up. I should have done something so much easier With a shape this difficult, I was almost losing my mind recording this because it took me 30 minutes to just get the trunk alone. I was restarting and restarting. So my basic advice for you is to just start big and then condense it into small bite-sized pieces. Basically, start with an outline, a basic shape with simple blocks and one simple color like white, and then make small details with stairs and slabs, and eventually with patience and enough tweaking, you will get the shape you desire. Okay, I think I got the basic stem of it done. I know it looks so bad. I'm not too proud of this stem. I definitely need to learn how to work more with quartz. Now I'm gonna create the leaf part, which definitely might even be harder. It's mainly gonna consist of amethyst because I love the amethyst block so much, and it matches this enchanted river so much. I need to include this block. We could use some wool and definitely more glass, which I have over there. We're definitely not going to use all of these blocks, but having our options set is good to start with. Okay, I think I got all of my options. I'm gonna redo that. Okay, let's get started on the leaves here. I'm thinking of a willow tree. Let me look up some pictures of willow trees because those look super cool. And I'm also gonna look up some pictures of people who've made willow trees in Minecraft. So for the willow tree, I think there needs to be another branch that is coming out. There we go. Now it's got like two big branches coming out from it. So now it actually looks like a structural tree trunk. Now I have no idea how I'm gonna create the actual leaves. I think I'm just gonna have some branches. Actually, I'm gonna create the central tree trunk branches out of glass so I can have a decent outline. Yeah, and then I'm going to go around here in a circle. Okay, so I've created a basic like outline of where I want the leaves to go, and of course they're not gonna stop at a line right here. They're gonna be hanging down like this. I just needed a basic outline of where they should be. So now I'm gonna create very simple and smooth branches with slabs and stairs. I'm just going in like diagonal or straight lines and creating just a subtle curve with slabs and stairs. I'm not using full blocks because I think that would be a little thick for branches. So these branches are super small. They're just kind of slabs and stairs put over each other like this. And this is where the leaves are gonna be placed on. Alright, so these branches, they're very chaotic right now, but they might look better when I get the leaves on there. But for now it just kind of looks like a modern sculpture. So for now I'm gonna work in full blocks. I'm just gonna work with some glass and some amethyst and wool for now to start it off. And I'm just gonna kind of go over these branches that I made, like a sheet or an umbrella. I guess I wouldn't recommend starting with glass because this is very difficult to see where I'm placing my blocks at, because it starts getting distorted the more glass you place because it's so transparent. And I didn't think about that, so what I've learned from here is don't start with glass, but I'm already halfway through it. And it looks pretty decent. I know it looks weird right now, but it'll look good when I start to texturize it with different blocks. So now that I have the basic outline of where all the leaf blocks should go over the branches, I'm just gonna make a little more droopy and have it kind of hanging from the bottom. So I'm gonna get rid of this outline of the glass, the white outline from earlier, and start to droop the purple leaves down. Ooh, that's looking very pretty. Now it's time to change these glass blocks and also change some to amethyst and purple wool. I think I'm gonna start just replacing with some magenta. Give it a little bit different colors, randomly just placing and replacing the dark purple with magenta, so it looks a lot more like the enchanted river underneath of it. Like the river is rooting all its source of power from this one tree. Okay, you can barely see it, but I did replace some blocks with the magenta. I might even replace some blocks with pink. I'm not really sure yet. I'm gonna start using wool and amethyst now though. And the wool might even mostly be placed inside of here to give it a nice dark undertone. How do I like the look of that? I'm not sure. How do people make these things look so good? Maybe the trick with the wool is just going in two patches instead of randomly sparsing it out. Okay, this looks even messier now, but I'm gonna move on to magenta wool and then some, maybe I should move on to amethyst now. Yeah. And see where that goes. I'm going to mainly root the amethyst to the bottom of the leaves because it's supposed to be like sparkling down. It's magic, something like that. I'm not really liking the magenta wool, so I think I'm just gonna replace it and leave it as purple and not include the magenta wool because it's looking a little too pink. I'm not liking it too much. And I'm just kind of replacing most of this wool with amethyst because I want amethyst to be the main block of this. Ooh, okay, I'm liking the amethyst now because the amethyst is really bringing this tree together. So I've came up with an idea of literally just placing another layer of mostly glass blocks over it because it's gonna create, you know, that transparent effect, almost like the river, and it's gonna mute all of these harsh tones of the wool and the amethyst and make them blend into the tree. Yeah, that's looking good. Except for the parts where the amethyst is hanging off of the tree, that's gonna be not hidden underneath of the glass. Okay, I think this tree is actually like looking super cool now. I just gotta be very careful with how I'm placing these blocks because some of them are looking a bit weird. But yeah, this tree is looking great so far. I need to introduce some glass panes and then these amethyst shards, and then it will look like almost perfect. So if you hang these glass panes here, it's gonna start creating that like almost vines hanging down off of the tree. I really love glass panes, but it's very hard to place them. See, now we have these like hanging strokes here. They create just even more aesthetic. I don't know what they're called. They just look really nice. And I'm also just gonna go on top here, creating like bunches of 2 or 3 of these glass panes to create even more of a texture. And I'm using both magenta and purple glass panes. Okay, we got the hanging bits. I think it's looking awesome. I'm getting trapped inside of them. Yes, that's looking awesome so far. So now I'm gonna use some of these amethysts, and you can't do this in survival sadly, but I think you could also use some candles. So if you place the blocks and if you put like a bunch of candles, it makes the candles floating. So it's another hanging effect that you could still put underneath of the tree. It just takes a little finessing to do. I'm also just gonna put them up here, create even more of just some textures and random bits and bobs. And then for these amethysts, again, you can't do this in survival sadly, but I'm going to place them down. You can also just replace these amethysts with the candles. You could use end rods. Those are white though, so I mean I'm probably gonna use end rods in a second here to give more of an effect, but yeah, these amethysts are gonna make it look even prettier. I'm not gonna put them on every block, but you know, scarcely throughout the tree there's gonna be a couple of amethysts hidden here and there. All right, this is looking amazing so far. Now for the final touch, actually there's 2 final touches. I forgot these carpets. I do want to put some carpets around, and I want to place them like around here. Probably not this much. I'm probably gonna get rid of most of these afterwards, but I want a basic flooring so it's like the leaves are falling. It's like the cherry blossoms trees that they recently put in, but I'm going to use it as purple, like an amethyst blossom. And now I'm going to change some of these to magenta. Now we're going to replace some of the ground, like even underneath of the carpets. I'm gonna replace them on the ground with glass. Okay, and now I'm gonna replace some of the ground with amethyst blocks. Mostly around the lake here. And now I'm going to get some of these crystals and put them around very loosely. I don't want them too much around. I want them mainly on the tree. But it's gonna act like there's just crystals growing under the ground because of the tree. See, now there's a good transition of like the grass into the amethyst. I'm not liking the magenta carpet at all, honestly. I think I might just get rid of it. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better now. I'm also gonna put some candles around here. Okay. Well, I think that looks beautiful, honestly. This is one of my best trees I've ever made. I've never really made a tree before, but I think I did a decent job. I guess if I knew how to regulate block placement and texturizing a little bit better, I think it would look decent. Oh yeah, I forgot the end rods. I do want some end rods. I forgot about them. I always forget about something. Alright, last placement is the end rods, which I think I'm just gonna place on some of the ends here. Alright, the end rods gave it just that extra bit of glow. And yeah, that is a very chaotic tree, but I think that's just the magic of it, the magic of the river powering the tree. It looks even prettier at nighttime. This is very pretty. I'm very proud of myself for this. I know it might kind of look bad as as a regular person who might do trees, but this is, I think it's one of the best trees I've personally ever made. Okay, next thing I want to do is create an outline for the river because you know those river banks, like if I even find one nearby, usually rivers have some sand around them or some type of sand or clay around them, like around here. I want to create those patches of sand and some sea life within the river somehow with probably concrete powder because I want the sand to be like, you know, the purple color, or some blues maybe because I'm thinking of creating the grass around the river blue to make it more magical. So let's create some pockets of sand with some powder, concrete powder. I'm thinking of doing maybe whites, maybe blue, and then using some white stained glass to get the end of this waterfall over here. Okay, we got a little waterfall here. I actually think using some cobwebs if I can find them. I'm not too sure. Maybe not. Okay, so I think I'm gonna be done with this area for now. I'm gonna move on to the outlining like I was doing, but then I got distracted. So I'm just gonna make some patches of sand here. Okay, so now that I look at this, it's looking good so far, but I think the sand is just a little too harsh, or the concrete powder. So I'm going to get a little bit of an undertone. I also think I'm gonna blend in some amethyst into it. And take some purple carpet, some purple wool. So I'm just gonna texturize this by putting patches of like darker purple wool into this. So now I think I'm gonna start to make an outline of the river with this warped block, and I'm gonna texturize it later. But this is the start of like the grass around the river, around the enchanted area or the mystical area. Okay, the outline's done and it's looking so cool. Oh my gosh, this is one of the best things, the prettiest things definitely I've made so far. Now, just to speed up time, I'm gonna be using World Edit to replace the grass around this area with Nylium. I think warped Nylium. Where'd it go? Also, I have no idea how to use World Edit, so this is gonna be fun. And then if we go over here, okay, and then replace near, replace grass with warped Nylium. Okay. Oh, I think I did it. Oh, but it didn't get this lower target over here. Whoops. Okay, let me try that again. Grass black with warped. There we go. Okay, and now we're just gonna spread this warp warp block around. Just very randomly, very chaotically to get it some texture. All right, so I got pretty much the land mass around here finished. Actually, wait, I just thought of something. Literally some cyan wool and just for some more texturizing. Cyan wool, cyan concrete, cyan everything. Maybe some light blue. Let's see what this looks like if I go a little crazy with this. Okay, so I've done something where there's little highlights with the cyan concrete powder, and then it transforms into cyan wool, and then it starts to transition out into the warp blocks, and then it transitions out into nylium, which makes it really nice. I really like this transition. Wow, that looks amazing. So the next thing I want to do is build tiny little trees of this version, just scarcely throughout this area. I'm just gonna create a little palette over here. Okay, now let's create just these tiny versions of them. So I used the same techniques for the small tree that I used for the big tree earlier. I simply used big shapes first, made an outline, and then I went simply down into that wool texture into glass, and then I morphed the shape until I liked it. You remember, these are fantasy trees. Just shape them how you like. They don't have to look like regular trees. They don't have to look normal. They're literally purple and white trees, guys. They are nothing realistic. Just take in your heart here and make a shape that you feel comfortable with. I did the same glass over technique when everything is done within the tree, and then I put a layer of glass on top, and then on the bottom I did the glass panes underneath of it, and then also some end rods here to add more of a glow effect. And then I did not forget the little ground carpets for leaves and everything. And then yeah, all of that together makes a very cute tree. Okay, now we got a little mini version of that tree, and it looks super adorable compared to that guy. Let's actually create a giant mushroom now. I'll do a giant mushroom probably around here. For the design of the big mushroom, I started with a jagged straight stem, and then I outlined the size of what I wanted the end of the head to be. I used glass for a circle at the bottom of the edge, and I replaced that glass with some cyan glass because I wanted a cyan overlayer to match the trees with the glass around them. Because I really love using glass, it just really puts everything together at harmony for me, and I just really like the reflectiveness of it. And I wanted a light source inside of the mushroom, so I decided to use some sea lanterns, but that became useless because I covered it up with some concrete and some other blue type blocks. I wanted to texturize the mushroom though, so this became a challenge, so I started to use some light blue glass, and then I also used some light blue wool around the mushroom because I wanted some spots. But eventually I got to there, so I used light blue and blue different blocks to make up the big mushroom. There we go. I like the cute little mushroom. It doesn't exactly look like a mushroom, but it's cute. Now I'm going to replicate little mushrooms, little amethyst trees all around here to make more of a forest. All right. So we finished duplicating a couple of these trees and these mushrooms, and I filled in some cherry blossom trees in the background, just to fill in the background. And yes, you can tell I got a little lazy because I stopped in the middle. I didn't want to duplicate a bunch of trees down here. But this is so pretty. I think it's maybe using some warped I don't know how to grow those warped trees. Do you just grow a mushroom on Nylium? Let me see if I know how to grow one of these trees. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. Maybe if I grow a couple of these trees, it'll look a little better in the background. All right, this is looking sick. This is amazing. And yes, I did increase the radius of the Nylium because thumbnail wise I didn't want any green background. You could still see a little bit of green over there, but that's okay. Adding a couple bit more decorations. I wanted to add a little bridge, but I'm a bit exhausted from this project right now. I think bridge making will be a video on its own for this series. So I'm just gonna add a couple little doodads, you know, little tiny like candles and some flowers around here. Okay, I think I've added just a bit. Oh, okay, I'm getting stuck in everything. I added a couple more flowers here and there. And yes, this place looks amazing. I want to see what this place looks like in shaders. This might destroy my computer, but I don't know. Wow, the purples are very vibrant in this texture pack. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna set the time to night because I want to see. Wow, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, the branches glow in Complementary, and the aurora is so cool. This is the best idea I've had. I'm literally about to cry. This is so pretty. This is a new wallpaper on my computer for sure. This is what happens when you set your creativity to the test. This is so beautiful, and I know you can create this. I know. Just believe in yourself and you can. So, thank you for watching my first episode of this series. I truly appreciate it. I hope you stick around for the next few episodes because this is just the beginning. Can you believe it? We are gonna create so many cool things, trust me. Both of us, not just me. I hope you join me in this fantastic new series. Thank you for watching. Bye!